Good morning, welcome to Scottie Crafts and Wendy's World. Today I want to talk to you about this amazing product called Pinkysill. Now Pinkysill is a mould making product, which means you can create moulds that, for any of you that have bought the Easycast resin, you can create your own moulds to then create your own shapes in the resin. So the one that I want to show you today, I've basically been gifted a brooch from my lovely friends up north. What I've done is, instead of using the brooch, I made the original mould using this brooch. I want to use a resin one that I created to now make another mould. So basically what you do is you put your item that you want to make a mould from into the base of a small container, leaving enough space around. Doesn't matter where your container comes from. It could be a plastic bead box, it could be a Jimbo's container, so long as it's got a flat bottom and so long as your item can be glued down, because you don't want it to move around. So what I've done is I've glued that in there. I've taken equal parts of my Pinkysill, and I've just used the little shot glasses. They're disposable, so I can measure it out and I can get down on eye level and make sure I've got equal quantities. You then mix these two together. So I've just taken a popsicle stick, ice block stick. I'm going to pour my two in together, and then I'm going to mix. You have a little bit of time to mix this, so don't rush it. Probably 3 minutes maybe. The setting time is about 20 minutes. So once it goes that lovely shade of pale pink, or Scottie pink.
Absolutely.
You can tell why we've got it pink, can't you? Keep mixing until you can see that it's all mixed in. I'm just lifting it up so that I can see the edges of my container. Now I'm just going to I'll do it right-handed, seeing as I am right-handed, very gently pour over the top of my brooch. You need to make sure that when you pour it in, it actually covers the item that you are making the mould from. So pour it all in there, get your stick and scrape it all out so that you've used every bit of it. And then basically set that aside to dry for 20 minutes. So I'm going to pop that over to the side. Now I'm going to show you how we create the actual resin item. So here's the mould that I made from the same brooch earlier on. Adrian's going to get the one that I've got cooking off to the side there.
Yay!
So I'm going to take that. I'm going to once again measure out equal parts of the Easycast resin. So I've got my little shot glasses here again. At this stage you can colour it, and if you want to colour it you can do it with alcohol inks. I've chosen cranberry for this one, which is going to give us a pink resin cast.
Yay!
So the more you add, the darker this will be, but I'm just going to do a couple of drops. It won't quite be Scottie pink, Adrian, I'm sorry.
Pale pink, all good.
Then mix your two parts together. Now this you have to be a little bit faster, otherwise it'll start to set in the pot. So you've probably got maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Mix, mix, mix. Just using a chopstick this time because it was handy. I'm now going to pour that into my mould very slowly till it fills. Not right to the top. I want those two little lugs that you can see there exposed, because that will create the holes in the top of the brooch. Also, because I've got, excuse the shake, I'm going to pour a little into another one, and I've still got extra, so I always have an extra mould lying around. This is buttons. And what I'll do is get our camera person to zoom over to where the buttons are. I've still got more. I might actually do this one now. So you just keep lots of moulds handy and keep pouring until you've used up all of your resin. And this will take approximately 7 to 8 minutes to set, depending on how thick the item is. And what you'll notice is it'll start to cloud in an area where the resin is at its thickest, and then move out. Once the whole lot has gone an opaque colour, it's ready to be popped out. Now while that's starting to set, what I want to do is show you an earlier mould that I've done, because we haven't got 20 minutes to video. This is one that I did, so imagine it in this container. I've popped it out of the container. I'm now going to pull my item out, and there is my created mould. These little flappy bits that are around the sides, you can trim them off with scissors, but basically that will then create this beautiful frame. And this was just a little frame I found, I don't know where actually, like an emporium. There's a number of items. Like I've actually got a whole lot of items here now that I'm waiting to create into molds. Beautiful buttons, like little brooches. These were awesome, little clocks. The world is your oyster when it comes to it. You can even take a pre-made resin item and make a mold from that, just as I'm doing with the brooch for Adrian. Now what you see in front of you there is all made from one pack of the Easycast resin. So all of those items, plus I've got a few at home that I haven't yet bought in, plus I've got some on a card in front here, and also on the original one that we started the video on. Another thing is all those pink molds that you see on the table, which I think I counted about 16, were all made from one pack of the Pinkysill, which is the 2 bottles the same size, the 475 gram I think they are, aren't they, Adrian?
They are, and it's actually quite amazing that you can make that amount out, because you will notice that there are quite a few of the big molds.
And deep ones as well,
Yeah.
quite deep ones.
So if you think that you've made all of these molds out of one bottle or pack, it probably works out to about $7 per mold on average. Obviously, if you make lots of little ones, they're going to be a lot cheaper per mold.
Now while those are setting, I might just move that aside and show you once you've got an item popped out of your mold. So here are the little buttons. Those are my original buttons. I've now filled the mold with resin to create some more. These are some I whipped up a little earlier. See how beautiful? And look, the design is all there. These I haven't coloured, so these are the plain cut resin without any colour added, because you can also colour after you've created. And to do that, once again, I'm taking some alcohol ink. So I've chosen black, but you could choose any colour that you like. You're thinking, why does she want to do it in black? I've put it onto a felt on an ink applicator tool, and I can just tap over the button.
It is amazing how the pattern then pops out of the resin mold.
So I can leave it like that, or I can come back in and go, I want all the little grooves all filled up. Then I can actually tap some more ink in, because I want my button to have gold over the top, and I love the alcohol ink gold mixatives. So this takes a little bit of, but you get there, just a little bit, make sure you get all the little grooves. Keep working it. Oh, actually, if the camera one just zooms in on this, you can see in the center of my brooch here, oh sorry, Adrian's brooch, this is actually starting to set. So see how it's clouded in the middle, and on the other ones it's starting to cloud as well. Thickest areas first, and then bit by bit it will, within about 8 minutes, it'll be ready to pop out. I'm going to actually now just do a little bit of gold. So I'm using my same applicator tool. I'm changing the felt on it, and I'm just going to put a little silver, sorry, beg your pardon, don't even know what the colour is. And then I can just lightly tap over the top to create a metallic look to my button. Usually I'd hold this in my hands, but we're just going to try and do it on the counter there. And if we move over to these ones here, this is my original little tiny little charms. This is my resin cast one, and these are ones that I've coloured using the alcohol ink. So I've mixed a little bit of cranberry, a little bit of black, and then I've just gone over the top with a little bit of the silver. Look at the detail in those. Those are tiny. They're like charms that you'd hang on a bracelet, or quilters would use to add to a quilt. I just love this resin. I can't get enough of it. It's almost like I just have to have more.
What? Can you leave some for us yet again?
On the stand here, Sue's created gorgeous, she's used like 5 resin pieces on this beautiful, I'll just move the ribbon a little bit over to the side, this beautiful canvas.
And that's pre-coloured resin, isn't it?
She's actually added the alcohol ink like I've done to these, so this will pop out that pinkish shade, whereas normally it's a cream colour when it just pops out of the mould. These ones here, this little brooch, here's my original brooch, I'll hold it up. My original brooch, the mould that I made, my resin piece ready to be coloured, and here it is coloured. Wow, I just want more.
It's really lovely coloured. It looks like in fact it looks better than the original.
Thank you. So what price is this, Adrian, the resin?
Right, the Easycast resin, that's the 475 gram one, is $44. That's the one that has made all of Wendy's little bits of resin pieces. There must be about 150 there, I think. You can get a slightly smaller one, which is a 250 gram kit. That is $28. And then if you want to make your own molds, which of course we think is just the best thing in the whole world, that's also a 500 gram kit, and that is $73. So that's how we get to our approximately $7 per mold. You can get different sizes as well, but we're waiting to see how that goes. We also, of course, have our alcohol inks on special this weekend. The single alcohol inks, the single bottles, now they're $9.99. We're going to special them this weekend for $6.99. We have heaps. Get in there quick because they will go. The sets of 3, no, Wendy.
Oh,
the sets of
I haven't
3
got that one.
Well, you can have it after the weekend. The sets of 3 are $19.99, and this weekend they're specialing at $16.99. So that's really good value, ladies. You can hop onto Wendy's World at www.scottiecrafts.co.nz and get in your Pinkysill molds, your Easycast resin, and your alcohol inks to finish off. And
now, Adrian, I'd actually quite like to just borrow your necklace for a moment. I think I could probably make some awesome molds out of that.
Nothing is safe with Wendy. Now,
pass it over.
I'm keeping this one. I'll let you know though if I make one, and I'll show you the result because I think it could be quite cool. We also just need to look at these molds as they are setting here. Oops. I'm thinking that if we come back to that in a couple more minutes, we'll be able to show you how they pop out that pretty pink colour.
Now we're at about 8 minutes later, and I'm going to show you popping the resin items out of the mould. Look at that. So there's the brooch. This one may be a little soft. We'll leave that one. Buttons are ready. Whoops, didn't quite, this means I haven't quite filled my mould. I should have given a little squeeze when I put it in there. But there's my buttons. And my cameo, which was the last little bit of the resin there, wasn't quite enough to complete the full round of the cameo, but you can use every little bit of it. This I'd use on something shabby chic and just tuck it in. So there we go, ladies, come in, purchase, you're going to really enjoy it. I'm totally hooked.
Yeah, and if you do buy any of these products this weekend, what we'll do is we'll pop in a little pre-made resin mold so that you can make your own little shape out of that little resin mold.
A resin piece.
Resin piece, there we go.
Ready to make a Pinkysill mold.
Just like Wendy just did. Thanks for watching, ladies.
Thank
See you again. Bye.
Bye.